There's no denying that social media has become an essential part of modern life. Whether you're logging on to keep in touch with friends or logging off to get some much-needed rest, social media offers an unprecedented opportunity to connect with friends, family, and colleagues. However, while the convenience and accessibility of social media can help you stay in touch with friends and colleagues, it can also pose a risk to your mental health, especially if you spend too much time comparing yourself to others. I find comparing myself to others on social media an emotionally draining experience, as it can provoke feelings such as anxiety, insecurity, jealousy, and inadequacy. I noticed that social media makes me constantly compare my current self to the perfect version of it that others portray online. For example, you tend to compare yourself to the beautiful and successful friend you have who lives in a glamorous city, who always wears the latest clothes and rides a luxury car. So I gathered different steps to control myself from comparing myself to others on social media. I found out that not all the steps you can find work, but I figured out the 5 most effective steps that worked for me. Stay tuned because I will be discussing all the step-by-step guides in the next section. 1. The first step to stopping comparing yourself to others is realizing that you're doing it. While social media can be a fantastic way to stay connected, it can also create unrealistic expectations of others and cause you to focus more on yourself than you should be. Instead of constantly comparing yourself to others and thinking, why aren't they as close as I am with my friends, or as popular as I am with my followers? You should try to refocus your attention on what's most important to you. In my personal experience, every time I scroll through my social media feeds, I tend to stop on particular posts only. This means I'm able to ignore other posts, and I tend to pause and take a look at specific ones. This is where you need to assess yourself. Find out which types of social media posts capture your attention because they will likely be one of those that will trigger your mind to do a self-assessment and compare your current situation. Once you are self-aware that you are doing this, you will be one step closer to controlling yourself from comparing yourself to others on social media. Share in the comment section the typical social media posts that you tend to pay more attention when scrolling through your feeds. 2. Don't feed into the negativity. Social media can often lead to anxiety, insecurity, and even low self-esteem if you spend too much time comparing yourself to others. Try to avoid falling into this trap by not feeding into the negativity. Instead, try to focus on how you can improve and use social media to stay connected with friends and family, not as a way to compare yourself to others. Whenever I check my friends' social media activities, the first thing I would look for are activities that I can relate to. This means I'm looking for activities that are common to us. This is where my comparison mindset will be triggered. Every activity that is common to us will be enjoyable for me to look at. But after this stage, I will start seeing activities that are not common to us. In this stage lies the boundary between being happy or sad because you will now see what they have that you don't. I will start comparing my status to their status. Are they able to book a more luxurious hotel than I did? Did they buy a brand new car or move to a new home? Everyone tends to find common things between themselves and others. When you do this, the innate tendency to compare whether you are better or not is triggered. A good strategy that helped me get over my negative thoughts is focusing only on positive things. If you really can't stop comparing yourself, be thankful for everything you have. If you see anything that puts you at a disadvantage, skip that thought and focus on the positive. Remember that this is mutually exclusive. If you are feeding your positive mindset, your negative thoughts are being drained and vice versa. So try to be grateful for everything you have to help you stop comparing yourself to others on social media. 3. Make a genuine effort to improve. While comparing yourself to others can be stressful, it's also important not to get too overwhelmed by the idea of improving. Instead, try to approach your social media presence with a sense of humility, recognizing that everyone has strengths and weaknesses. You don't have to be the best at everything, and it's okay to acknowledge and accept that you're not perfect. Once you have this in mind, you can try to genuinely make an effort to improve, whether by posting less and posting more thoughtful, meaningful posts or by taking the time to reflect on yourself genuinely. In my experience, posting more meaningful posts on my social media accounts is what helps me most when I feel like I need to improve. It gives me something positive to focus on and makes me feel better about myself. When I started posting about saving money, I did what I needed to do to save money. And when I posted about how much fun I had hanging out with friends, I made sure to go out with them again soon. Making your social media presence closer to your reality will help you stay focused on the things that matter most to you. So if you want to stop comparing yourself to others, start making genuine efforts to improve. 4. Recognize that everyone is flawed and everyone has something they'd like to change. As we've already explored, social media can often lead to feelings of inadequacy and anxiety if you spend too much time comparing yourself to others. But the key to breaking this habit is to recognize that everyone is flawed and everyone has something they'd like to change. Everyone has a friend that looks perfect on social media. These people are usually very popular, and they have lots of followers who love their content. They may even seem successful, but they rarely share anything that feels authentic. These people hide their flaws and struggles from the world because they think being vulnerable means they'll never find true happiness. But the truth is, no one is perfect. Everyone is struggling with something, whether it's finances, relationships, health, or self-confidence. If you're honest with yourself, you'll realize that you're just as imperfect as anyone else. So instead of focusing on what other people have, focus on what you have. And while you might not always succeed, there's nothing wrong with trying. As long as you keep working towards your goals, you're doing exactly what you should be doing. If you want to stop comparing your life to others' lives, remember that everyone is imperfect. Try to embrace your flaws and celebrate your successes. 5. Turn your focus inward. As you begin to recognize that everyone is flawed and everyone has something they'd like to change, you can start to turn your focus inward and begin to appreciate your unique strengths and weaknesses. Doing this will help to avoid falling into the trap of constantly comparing yourself to others and will allow you to focus more on building a social media presence that reflects your true, authentic self. I realized that I was spending so much time thinking about what others were doing and what I wasn't doing. Instead, I decided to focus on what I could control: my body, thoughts, and actions. This helped me stop feeling anxious about my appearance and enjoy the little things in life without worrying about what others thought of me. The same thing goes for your social media presence. You don't have to worry about what others are doing on Instagram or Facebook. Focus on your social media accounts and make sure that everything you post reflects who you truly are. Conclusion: to stop comparing yourself to others on social media, you have first to understand where you're going wrong. Once you've done this, you can begin to change your habits and approach social media to reflect your true, authentic self. Social media can be a great way to stay connected with friends and family, but it can also pose a risk to your mental health if you spend too much time comparing yourself to others. You can ensure that your social media presence reflects your true, authentic self by avoiding these common pitfalls. If you enjoy watching this video, please support my channel by clicking on the like and subscribe button. Also, please consider watching my other videos to learn more about how you can improve yourself each day.